Hi, everyone. I'm Erica Flint, and welcome to Living Hypnotically, where we explore the benefits and application of hypnosis with professional hypnotists. And I am thrilled today to have Mary DeYon, professional hypnotist. She's been a hypnotist for over 2 years, took our training course over 2 years ago. She's been a coach, and she started out coaching sales professionals. So she helps a lot of people lose weight. She has a weight loss program she's going to tell us about. She has some client wins she's going to share with us. Mary, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. This is great.
Yeah, it's just wonderful to have you here so that we can talk about hypnosis, because hypnosis helps a lot of people, and not everybody understands how we can use it in our life in very big ways. Like, you can go see a hypnotist, like you or me,
Right.
and lose weight or stop smoking or something, or you can use it in practical ways just to live more freely and live happier. So I can't wait to ask you some questions about how you
Great.
use hypnosis. Let's start with you, though. Can you tell us a little bit? You've got a really cool history. How did you get into?
She was in her 60s and had been on so many diets through all of them, all of the
Yeah.
diets through all the years and everything. And she was really quite unhealthy at the time. It was amazing. She lost 30 pounds in a couple of weeks. And now it's been over 2 years. She hasn't even gained it back. She just said it changed my mind totally about how to eat and just paying attention, being aware. But it
Yeah.
changed her in a lot of other ways. The self hypnosis part, I think, is great.
Self hypnosis, for most people, it's not required, but most people need some type of practice. They need something that they're doing every single day that is processing the world, basically. Would you like the secrets to becoming a professional hypnotist in 2024? Then grab our new guide, Transforming Minds, the ultimate guide to becoming a professional hypnotist in 2024. It's available at cascadehypnosistraining.com/guide. cascadehypnosistraining.com/guide. And they say that there's two magic pills out there, and one is exercise. So we're moving our
Right.
body, and that tends to be more for our mood stabilizing, right? We get a lot
Right.
of physical things out of it, but moving tends to be a lot about the mood stabilizers. And then the second magic pill is meditation or hypnosis, right? So
Right.
quieting the thinking mind. Quieting the
Right.
thinking mind is, I would say, one of the number one skills to,
Right.
like, most people really need, and they might not realize that they need it, but they appreciate peace of mind. They don't
Right.
realize all the time that when they're skiing down a mountain at 70 miles an hour, they're quieting the thinking mind.
Yeah. And I do
Um,
think, though, that the seven path that we teach is so great because meditation, it's hard not to think. But with this, with seven path, you say the affirmation and then you wait for this echo to come up. And it could be anything, it could be your grocery
right.
list. But you keep saying it and it washes things away. It gives the mind something to do rather than sit there and do nothing for 20 minutes in
Yeah,
meditation.
you
That's what
know,
I think.
if people already have a meditation practice, that's great. But what I find, and we find across the board, is people prefer hypnosis because it's
Yes.
more in directional, right? And especially if it's a guided hypnosis, right? That's where,
Right.
like, the tapes really worked for you at the beginning, and
Yeah.
recordings, not required, but I find that clients, when they can go home and they have a coping strategy of listening
Yes.
to a recording, that is quieting the thinking mind, that is washing away the day, right?
Yeah,
It
it's
is,
true.
yeah, is very helpful for them, right? So
And you can always put
congratulations.
something in there as far as sleep goes too, because you and I both know. I'm really glad you came out with your whole sleep thing because it's so true. If you can get a good night's sleep, life is so much better.
Yeah.
And it's such a epidemic in this country, lack of sleep.
It really
Yeah,
is. It really
yeah,
is. And the interesting thing about sleep, and thanks for bringing up the sleep boot camp, we probably will do another one of those.
good.
Good sleep starts first thing in the day. It doesn't
Yeah,
start when your head hits the pillow. And I think that's something that is hard for people to really want to adopt into their life because they feel like they're too busy and they don't want to de-stress in
right.
the middle of the day. But when you de-stress in the middle of the day, when you take the time to
Yes.
sit down and do hypnosis at lunch, something like that, that really contributes to your ability to wind down at the end of the day.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. Huge. Yeah.
Otherwise, what it seems like folks are doing is they are over consuming to some degree. They're drinking, they're smoking, they're eating, and they fall asleep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we want to
I
give
know.
people a hypnotic sleeping pill, detach from any.
Because all of it, and a lot of them pop that pill, whether it be Ambien or Advil PM or
Right.
whatever. And I did that. I say it was for my back pain, but it was really my depressing life. You know what I mean? I was trying to zuzz out from. But
Yeah.
those things actually cause Alzheimer's and dementia. We don't need all those drugs in our system. That's another thing that's really important, especially when people get older.
And a lot of folks who are on sleeping meds really appreciate the clarity of mind and the
Right.
day when they have more clarity in the day and they're waking
Yes.
up feeling better.
That's what I noticed. It added to my depression because you wake up, you're still not, you're,
Foggy, you're not really connected to
yeah,
the world. You're there, you're
right.
not. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are
Yeah.
you using hypnosis? How are you, Mary, living hypnotically? When we apply hypnosis to our own life and just start living it, it makes
Right.
us a better hypnotist. It helps us help more people. So, how about you? How are you using it?
I think it's, you say living hypnotically. I call it living in the flow
Yeah.
because in the morning, the way I wake up is that, okay, angels, let's go. What are we doing today?
Uh-huh.
That idea.
Yep.
So I feel like I have my divine whatever around me and we're going on with the day.
Mm-hmm.
But I always do some kind of hypnosis in the morning, usually
Yeah.
something I've recorded for myself that I'm working on right then. I do sit down and do 10 grateful things. I
Oh,
also do a little thing where I send love to anybody I've had an issue with, even something at the bank. Okay, I'm going to send a bubble of love to the bank or anything that you're having an issue with. My ex daughter in law sometimes causes me grief. And she
okay.
gets lots of my love in the morning. And so just a few people that you can do that with. And then that's when I sit there and I just sit there for 5 minutes doing that. Just try to empty my mind and open to whatever. And then I do my hypnosis on myself. So that's my deal.
Beautiful.
I love that. And it just
Mhm.
centers you. And a lot of times I'll do that at night too. If I've really had a day where people have bugged me or whatever. So it's hard
It's a great
sometimes.
technique. I
Yeah.
think it's a great technique to take any of our triggers, what we might call a trigger, even if it's just like we remember something that someone said that was hurtful or an experience of the day that was hurtful. And in the past, we might have allowed it to get us off track, or we might be irritated, or that might be where we go drink or smoke or something like
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
But what if instead we take that trigger and we just use it? Use it to remind ourselves. And just like you're doing, you're using it to send them love or grace or healing, or so you're not allowing it to create any more negativity inside of you. As a matter of fact, you're taking something and you're alchemizing it. You're transforming it inside of you. What might have
Right.
been negative in the past,
Right.
you're actively turning it into something positive. This is
Maybe
so beautiful. Thank you. And you're doing that every day. It's
because
like you're weaving life
I
every day
know.
into our tapestry with
Yes.
goodness. So,
Right.
you're taking what you're being given or what's coming up in your mind. And if any of it isn't exactly what you want, you're taking a moment, you're bringing it to your awareness and your heart, and you're transforming it. Gosh, I love
Yeah,
it.
and I think that women, I'll be 72 in a couple weeks. And
No way.
I
Oh
know.
my gosh.
I know.
No
How the hell did
way.
that happen? It's just crazy. But I feel like a lot of women, as we get older, we have so many things in our head and we've been hurt. And my generation was taught to be good little girls and
That's right.
always, and what would the neighbors think? And you had to look a certain way and all
Right.
these things. And I bucked the system along the way gently. And now it's some people aren't going to like you. Some people are going to think you weird because you're always into this weird stuff. And it's okay. And a lot of times that stuff, when you really stop and think about it and you're sending them love, you get this feeling, oh, she's probably just jealous of me. Send her more love. She just needs
Yep.
more love. And that's usually what it is when other people put you down and try to
They're
stump on
suffering.
you.
Yeah.
And I do think that a lot of my women clients have dealt with that. That's why they have this perfectionism thing. And we always want to lose weight just to be like the magazines. But sorry, God didn't make you that way.
That's right. I got a
Yeah.
lot of relief when I detached myself from the need, like the real kind of anxiety part of eating, right? Like I would eat to satisfy boredom or stress, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
once I really just stopped and forced myself to kind of address or deal. And then I asked myself, and this isn't Reprogram Your Weight, my first book, Reprogram Your Weight, but it's
It's
like,
a
are you
great
really
book.
hungry? Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
The question, right? Are you really hungry? And we're talking about consumption when it comes to food, right? And so it's
Right.
very intimate and it's very personal because for most of us as humans, nobody else is putting food in our mouth. And so the
Right.
responsibility always lies upon us,
Yes.
right?
Right.
Us. And it's, you don't have to put that food in your mouth.
Right.
But then there's a part of the mind that's, yes, I do. Don't take that away from me. Don't take my food. And
Yeah.
so I will ask my clients. So the second rule
Yeah.
of reprogramming your weight, take half, you can always go back for more. And so take half, you can
Right.
always go back for more. And when you say that to a client and you can tell that they, Erica, I will say to them, you don't like that, do you? There's a part of you that's really rebellious to taking half, isn't there? And I
Right.
think it's really loving to just bring that out in the open to people. So
Right.
everybody who's listening, if you were to take half, if you were an
Right.
emotional eater and wanted to lose weight, take half. Always go back for more. Now, the rule is you always have to go back for more. Don't allow yourself to live in that deprivation. But the point is, a lot of clients have a big insight in that one little piece because they're like, why am I so afraid of only
Right.
taking half? The other half is sitting right there. Why am I getting so anxious about the
Right.
thought of taking half? And after a while of this happening, it seems to be merely anyone telling you or trying to control the type of food or the amount of food. And
Yeah.
people really hate that. So when we take that away, when we resolve that one thing and people detach themselves from that needing to eat or that amount thing,
Right.
I found it brings a lot of comfort and peace. And that's a huge hurdle for a lot of my clients, like a big milestone, I should say, a milestone, not a hurdle, a milestone. Because when it's achieved, there's the before and after. They're like, oh, I can leave it. I'm not anxious about the food anymore. Right.
Yeah, and I think if you grow up in a big family too, the food, the guys always got the food. There were three girls and three boys in my family, and they have to do the
Family
hard
line.
work. And so they get first dibs on the food. And it's crazy, but so you want to make sure you get your share on your plate.
That's
And there's
right. That's right.
all these things like in your sleep boot camp, you were talking about night owls and you were talking about staying up really late because mom and dad didn't. It's not like you wanted to do that anymore in your life,
Right.
but mom and dad made you go to bed early. And so now you do it out of rebellion.
And
So,
you might not realize it. That's the cool part, right? It might not be conscious. So the person might not be sitting there thinking, screw you, mom and dad, they're 40 years old. They aren't
exactly.
conscious of
And they're
doing
still
this,
doing it.
right? They're still just doing it. So I will say to my clients, and I'm curious what you think about this because I'm really actively calling this out now. I'll say, we're going to put the rebel in charge. We're putting the rebel in charge of your eating. So the rebel's going to choose if you're eating or not. So what do you think? Would that be good for your clients too?
Then they would get scared.
Yeah.
They would get scared. They go, oh my God, I couldn't do it. It's like when I say eating intuitively,
Yeah.
ask your body. It may
Yeah.
want a salad instead of a
That's
burger.
right.
Just ask your body. And they
Yeah.
go, oh my God, if I let my intuition run the show, I'd be laying on the couch all day eating pizza, potato chips, ice cream. I said, you may do that for a day or two, but then if you really get into how you feel after you do that,
Yeah.
we're getting in touch with you, with what your needs
That's a
are, what
good
your
point.
body wants. Yes.
If you get in touch with how you feel after you
You
do
do
that,
it.
isn't that a great
It's
idea?
perfect.
We have instantaneous gratification, right? I want to eat
Yes.
now. And I had a
Right.
client recently who said, food is an amplifier, Erica. Food makes everything better. And I
Oh,
said, is that true? And I
wow.
and she said,
Okay.
yeah, I have so much fun. And my friends come over and she's telling me the story about
Yeah.
how food is a positive amplifier. And I said, how did you feel the next day? Oh, like crap. And I said, can we, in your equation here, in your
Right.
food amplifier equation, can we add this next day piece back into the equation and see, is it a wash? Are we in the negative?
Right.
And so that's really battling instantaneous gratification
Yes.
versus long-term fulfillment. And that
Right.
message is, I think, really important. I call it guilty residue and reprogram your weight. But when we bring the whole thing into the picture and clients realize, oh, I guess it really isn't a food, an amplifier. I guess
Right.
it really doesn't work that well.
It's, yeah, an amplifier of the fat on your body. Yeah, for
That's
sure. But
yeah, exactly.
yeah, it is interesting because consciously we may get the idea, and that's the thing that hypnosis does. It works on the subconscious to change the whole paradigm
That's right.
underneath.
That's
And
right.
that's the hard part. But the thing of it is, I always tell them every day's a start over. So
Hmm.
you laid on the couch and you did all that and you felt bad. Are you going to do that today? No, they're not going to do that. And they probably wouldn't do it again until they have a really bad day and they think about doing that again.
Right.
And they may do it to some extent, but it's about changing that whole idea, getting in touch with how you feel after you do these things. And it's just amazing how it works. It works faster than they think it will, but it does if
And
they
that's
want
just
to.
that's the way the brain works, right? We can have
Right.
an aha moment. Everybody's had a moment of insight or a shift. And so we want to prime our clients for those types of things where
Yes.
hypnosis can make everything better. Now, it's not
Right.
magic. To tell my clients it makes it 75% easier because I
Yeah,
think it
definitely.
does.
Yes, it really does. Yeah, and listening to changing that underlying self-talk and self-limiting beliefs and just
That's right.
underlying habits. So much is done by habit.
So we,
And the three of the things that I tell them
mhm.
are brush your teeth after you eat.
That's
Get in, that's just
awesome.
an easy habit. Don't eat in front of the TV. A lot of my single women, the TV is their friend. And a lot of times they're watching the news and catching up on the day. And I go, my God, no, don't do it. Don't do
Let's
that.
talk
And then
about that. Let's talk about that. Why is that so bad? Why is it so bad to eat in front of the TV or eat in front of something else?
because you're watching the TV and you're not thinking about what you're doing,
You're not
which brings
appreciating the food. You're not even a lot of times we're not even noticing that we eat the food, right? It's look down who ate all the ice cream, who ate all the chips.
exactly,
It's been you.
exactly
So
crunching
you're not
away.
paying attention.
Which brings me to the third one that is really
Mhm.
good. You have to put down your fork or spoon in between every bite. And you know how when you're eating a sandwich and it's you got it angled and it's just right and you don't want to put that down, but you put it
You
down
put it down.
between each bite and
Yes.
then you taste the food. And it goes through all these different kind of stages, the texture.
Mhm.
You don't eat as much because you're full. For one thing, you're mentally fulfilled too
Right.
because you have enjoyed it.
That's
And
right.
it's not like you, the wood chipper in front of the TV eating the burrito.
Oh my goodness. I might have to go to ChatGPT and ask for that picture that you just said because that the wood chipper like
That would be a good
front
one.
of the
Yeah,
TV. Yeah, that would be a good one, right?
it would be.
Um, awesome. Wonderful. Now, what would you like your potential clients to know about hypnosis?
It's just such an effortless way to change your life. Effortless. All you have to do, but still, you have to sit down maybe and listen to a 20-minute tape. You have to maybe go to a hypnotherapist and make your appointments or whatever. You have to do that part,
You
but
have to
it's not
focus your attention, right? You have to
right.
be willing to prioritize, take the time, show up, really be there, listen, do it, right? So it's your kind of a level of tension on
Yes,
hypnosis, on yourself.
on
But
yourself.
then it's effortless. I agree
It
with you.
is.
That's the intention, right?
But it's all about making the decision. Do you
Yeah.
really want, okay, you want to lose weight? Do you really think about it? Are you ready to change your life enough? Are you willing to let this go once and for all? And you have to be ready and you have to make the decision to do the things. And sometimes you
You
don't
have
want
to
to
be
let,
willing to, sometimes you have to be willing to change. We do
right,
get clients that come in that really do believe in the magic of hypnosis to the degree that they think they don't have to do anything, meaning,
right,
Eric, I'm just going to go sit in that chair over there and you're going to do your thing. And that's where I think it's a good message 75% easier. You got to show up and put in a little bit of your effort, right?
right.
When we
Yeah,
quiet the
I think
thinking mind,
I tell them, I wish that when we get done with these 5 sessions, that you would have lost 50 pounds, but I
mhm,
can't. You know what I mean? And just explain to them that it's a process, but it's an enjoyable process once they go through parts of it and then they look back. they say, oh, that wasn't bad. That wasn't as bad as therapy. And a lot of them been through therapy. And oh my God, I've been through therapy. Good God.
Hmm.
That's what I
This
love
is,
about this. With coaching, I always love coaching rather than therapy because coaching, they give you tools, things to do to make your life better.
mhm,
And this past is the past. And yeah, we're going to work with that. But hypnosis is even better because we address all of it,
that's right.
including the subconscious mind, which runs the show, and we're on autopilot.
Yep, neuroscience is telling us up to 95% of decision making is happening below conscious awareness. And then we find evidence in the real world to back it up. And so
Yes,
this is why
definitely.
we feel things in our body, we might have knee-jerk reactions to things, and that's what we tap into with hypnosis. We get into that really deep feeling layer. When we make changes there, it impacts everything. We feel more peaceful, we sleep better, we're happier, all of those
But
things.
it
So,
doesn't hurt so much as like other forms of therapy. That you
right.
don't go through the pain of it all. And yeah, my daddy drank and whatever, that kind of thing. It's different.
Right. It's
It's
not
very
hashing out. It's not hashing out in a talk therapy sense. We are
right.
releasing the emotions that are no longer serving, which brings insight, clarity, removal of limiting beliefs, and what feels like a very common report is I feel lighter. I feel like a load has been lifted, right? So folks are carrying around feels like an energetic heavy burden a lot of the time, right?
When people don't even know the feeling of joy or happiness sometimes because they've carried so much so long in the depression and just the way they eat and everything,
Yeah.
you're like you say, it's so heavy that you become so much lighter when you get rid of some of that. And it's just, they don't recognize that feeling. It's such a new feeling for a lot of people. And you can help them with that also.
It's a great
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah. My
Yeah.
second book is called Lighter. And
I
that was,
know. I love that book too.
there it is. Because so many people would say, wow, I feel lighter. And then we get to
Right.
say, and so now that you feel lighter, what else do you want to do? And folks come in to lose weight, but we
Right.
get them focused on things that bring fulfillment and enjoyment. They're naturally eating less and they're getting a better life, right?
That's what my program is about. It's called Your Wait is Over. And
Ooh.
it is so funny because in my life, I waited to do so many, like putting my book out. I never even,
Mhm.
the nuns told me I couldn't write. And so I didn't even attempt it until I was 55 years old.
Mhm.
And then it was a struggle to write it. But the thing of it is, once you go through something like that and you go on the other side of your fear, your life changes in so many ways when you walk through some of those things that the limiting beliefs that held you back. But it's just, I put off so many things. I was afraid to put it out until I lost weight. What the hell was that about? That's insane.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
crazy. The wait
And
is
like,
over. Oh, I love it.
right.
Good. Yeah.
It's like even taking the family photo. I wish I had that photo from 20 years ago, but I was putting it off till I lost weight.
Oh no.
And then when I finally lost weight, I'm going, no, I want to know what we looked like back then. I know what we
Yeah,
look like now. Yeah.
exactly.
So
Wow.
that's my goal is to help other women. A lot in the program that we work on what they really want in life too, like
Hmm.
starting their own business, writing a book,
Yeah.
whatever their idea is, go back to school. And
Yeah.
so when you work on that along with the weight loss part, it's just amazing what happens. They
Right.
coincide because they're finding themselves and listening to themselves. And as women, I think we live other people's dreams. We help our husbands get to where they want to go, or our children,
Hmm.
or we live what our parents thought we should do. And I just think we're such good little girls.
Ah,
It's time to be you. And the world
be
needs
you.
us now. Because the Dalai
Absolutely.
Lama says that Western women will save the world.
Oh, I didn't know that. He said that.
He did.
Wow. What's his thinking behind that? Do you know?
I think because we're more gutsy and we're coming into our own and we're more free than many women around the world for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we don't have the norms necessarily maybe they have in France or whatever.
Very
So we
true.
have to do it.
Absolutely. You're doing it right now. And I want to say thank you because you're taking everything you've learned, you're taking your life's experience and turning
Yes.
it into things that other people can consume. They can
Right.
get private sessions with you, they can get
Yes.
recordings and the program from you. So,
Right.
whatever kind of level makes sense for them. Yeah. So, you're meeting them where they're at. And
Exactly. And that's what I love.
yeah.
And just watching their faces, even on my Zoom calls, just watching the faces brighten up when they get it. Oh, yeah. That's great. It's very
Wonderful.
rewarding.
Absolutely. What would you say to someone thinking about becoming a hypnotist and coming
I
and training?
I would say do it if only for yourself.
Hmm.
If only for yourself.
Yeah.
Because you get in touch with places that it's just, it's a whole body thing, really. You get in touch with, it's not just a mind thing. It's learning so much about how your mind works, and your mind runs the show. It runs
That's
your
right.
body, it runs everything. And it's such a personal growth
That's right.
thing,
And you
I
really
think.
have to apply it to yourself in order to
Right.
be a good hypnotist, right? You can't just go read a book and become an excellent hypnotist, although there are excellent books out there on hypnosis. Um,
There are, yeah.
yeah. So we really want to apply
Hmm.
hypnosis to our own life, that type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But just even to be
Absolutely.
able to de-stress family members, say your husband comes home and he had a stressful day, you could do a short hypnotist thing on him to relax him. And you got a kid in sports. I've done it on my granddaughters. They're big in sports. And so we do the sports stuff. And when you go to tryouts, you're going to be energetic that day. You're going to feel great. You know what I mean? It's just, that's the part I love. I like writing the scripts too for the people. So that's fun for me.
I think writing the scripts is a very loving thing to do because you're telling a story, you're considering the context and a specific solution for a specific context for a specific person. And maybe it's you. A lot of the recordings that I make are for me because I'm trying to get
Exactly.
myself through something. And
Exactly.
then, right. And then I turn around and give it to clients. But there is this there's what we would consider maybe the old fashioned way of hypnosis, what we call direct suggestion, where you're just
Right.
going to read a script to a client.
Hmm.
And on the receiving end of that, it's usually very enjoyable because it's almost like someone's reading you a bedtime story. And if the hypnotist is a loving hypnotist, which I hope they are, then that would
Yeah.
be an enjoyable experience. And then as a profession, we started getting away from direct suggestion because there's all these tapes and people had to listen to them every day. And it felt a little heavy, right? Now, if
Right.
people did it like you did it and other
I
people have
did it.
done it, but
Yeah.
then we started moving into five path and other which is what we do and what I teach, and other forms of what we call insight based hypnosis. But there is still, and so insight based hypnosis doesn't have as many scripts. It is
Right.
more of technique that is
Right.
guiding our clients to their own insight, right? There
Definitely.
is still such a need for
Right.
excellent scripts because the ability to sit down and the convenience of sitting down and doing nothing, or the convenience of having it recorded so you could just receive and just listen and you're not
Right.
having to read. There's a difference between journaling, which might be a little more effortful, or dumping,
Right.
and just receiving a hypnosis recording, right?
Or even just sitting down to meditate. That
Right.
just freaks people out
Because
because being alone with yourself with nothing going on, oh my God,
I'd
I
much
get
rather
it.
just sit down
And listen to something.
and listen
Yeah.
to something and have it be guided, and then 15 minutes later, 10 minutes later, they feel absolutely magnificent. And so I
Right.
love to use these recordings as a coping strategy, and I give them to my clients from the very beginning, especially when we're
Um,
working remotely. Listen to this, you'll get accustomed to my voice, and I want you to listen to it every day. And so now they're empowered,
they
right?
are empowered. It
Yeah.
does empower them,
Yeah.
definitely.
So good job on doing the recordings. Not every hypnotist likes writing the
Yeah.
script. Some of them really like just the insight based stuff and they like, oh, the insight and the mind blows. But
I
I think
know.
a really good full package is going to be also delivering something to your client that is shifting the way they think and they're listening to it and it's something that they can listen to again. So
Yeah, it's good.
thank you for doing that. How can people connect with you? Where are they going to find you online?
I am at marydeyon.com,
Okay.
MaryDeyon.com.
Awesome.
And they can get to me there. And I try to do a little social media, but I'm doing more. But
What
that would be
makes
the
you
best way.
happy? We don't all have to do social media. I don't want any
But
hypnotist, human, anybody in the world to feel like you have to do anything
yeah,
because anything, everything works, right? I get a lot of
Yeah,
questions about how do I grow my practice? Which method, which strategy? Every strategy works when you work it. Every strategy
right.
when you work it. So you don't have to be on social media. We will put your link up on screen and in the
Well,
notes so
thank
people can
you.
click on it and find you and connect with
And
you.
email me just at mary@marydeyon.com.
Okay. Okay.
That
Mary at
works too.
MaryDeYon.com. Awesome. Would you like the secrets to becoming a professional hypnotist in 2024? Then grab our new guide, Transforming Minds, the ultimate guide to becoming a professional hypnotist in 2024. It's available at cascadehypnosistraining.com/guide. cascadehypnosistraining.com/guide.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mary, for being
Thank you
here.
for having me. This has been fun.
Yeah, it has been fun. And you're just such a bright light in the world. Thank you for
Thank
putting
you.
yourself through the fire. Thank you for finding the grit and the courage in you to say, I'm going to go learn sales for my kids. That's the message
Right.
I got. I'm going to go do this thing that I find hard because I want to make the kind of money that I deserve to
Right.
be making. And you just went and made it happen.
That's
And
right.
now you're helping other women do the same thing by getting rid of fear and shame around food,
Yes.
shame around maybe upbringing and ways that you were taught to be. So thank you for bringing this level of love and tenderness and light into the world. It's an honor to be connected with you.
And thank you for your books and training because you made me blossom in ways I never knew I could.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mary. It's a
It's
great
been
honor.
great.
It's a great
Yeah.
honor. Thanks everyone for being here. I'm Erica Flint, professional hypnotherapy instructor, board certified hypnotist, and lover of humans. This has been Living Hypnotically, where we explore the benefits and application of hypnosis with professional hypnotists. I'm here with Mary DeYon, who is helping people, helping women lose weight and gain confidence, sleep better, and just live a more fulfilling life. Please connect with her. And I look forward in seeing you in the next episode. Our next training course is April 21st through 27, and we look forward to seeing you there. You can check us out at canyoubehhypnotist.com and cascadehypnosistraining.com. Thank you. Love you lots. Bye for now.